pleased to hear it.
Your faith in your commander is well placed, Ambassador. Victory is all but in sight.
With Orlay's Imperial Guard joining us, it was never in doubt. Corypheus has been seen in the fray. Will you not consider moving further from the front line?
Dear Lady Montilyet, we cannot send our subjects where we ourselves fear to tread. All Thedas will see Orlais stand triumphant with the chosen of Andraste.
As your majesty wishes.
We are gladdened to see you, Herald. This day will be recalled for ages. We are privileged to witness the fulfillment of the Inquisition's purpose.
There are other ills, Your Majesty, that the Inquisition may be called upon to attend.
We will note them with great interest. Men and women of faith serve you. Their favor is no less than our own. Their service no less dear. With Orlais at your side, we will see you victorious against Corypheus. May you walk in the light.
Inquisitor, I hear this Eluvian lies in a temple nearby. That's where the fighting will be worst. Andraste keep you safe.
Are you sure you don't want to grab a sword and wade in?
I shall remain where I'm of some use, your worship, if it's all the same. Good luck.
Now that's a view. Get your blood going.
Corypheus's soldiers appear to be on the defensive.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
Do you sense the magic crackling? Something more powerful than the Red Templars stirs.
As the sun renews itself, so must the faithful renew their love of the Maker. Your penance shall be a joy. Serving him with a heart of love unbound, your struggle shall be a gift, for it redeems you in his sight.
Maker, let me be a worthy servant, that you might take me unto your side.
My thanks, your worship. Andraste must hear you. I was a pilgrim at Haven. I saw the wreckage and how you emerged to lead us. If the Maker bids me serve you, it will be done.
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal.
Prepare yourself, my dear. It's likely Corypheus will make an appearance.
I'd count on it. Be ready.
I hear fighting ahead.
Namelana Sabanale.
The wretch mocks you, master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows.
be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
It cannot be! Across the bridge, now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
If he's here for a mirror, why'd Corypheus say he wants a well of sorrows?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
You're not certain? You said you knew what he was looking for.
Confidence can carry one only so far, it seems.
I suspected. I did not know. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
How do we kill an immortal?
We'll find a way to stop Corypheus once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how. Yes?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus for good?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
The room we stand in is a vestibule, not the temple proper. To those who knew it, perhaps this ritual was little more than a polite knock at the gate. These customs must have been as familiar to ancient elves as bowing to a queen is to you or I.
I find it difficult to picture you curtsying to anyone.
Why our dear Empress tolerated that is one of the mysteries of our age.
Why, Madame Vivian? I expected sweeter barbs from a tongue as subtle as yours. Does this place unnerve you so? Or is it I?
You unnerve me as would a cockroach crossing the floor, making me think new accommodations might be required.
Much better.
You said this Mithal was worshipped as a goddess.
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mithal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mythal.
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful. Pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
If you know more about this, Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
What do you mean, exiled?
Tricked by the Dread Wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace, and their gods did not save them. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter. Who can say?
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things are possible. One, this is a group of Dalish separated from their brethren, cultists, fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Arlathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
If they keep records, it could change everything we thought we knew about history.
'Tis thrilling, no? To discover an era thought lost forever has possibly thrived in the shadows. We may, however, find these elves reluctant to part with their long-kept secrets. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Not much of a lock if all you do is step on it.
'Tis a ritual, not a barred door. There is more here than earthly treasure. There. Well done. What awaits?
After you. I insist.
I see the Venatori have already encountered the temple's guardians.
Looks like an ambush. Impressive work.
The Temple of Mythal, constructed in an age when elves, not men, dominated this land. They believed Mythal a goddess of justice. Elves came here to request judgment, after they proved their worth.
Silence has reigned here for time beyond memory.
Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the dread wolf, Fen-Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen-Harel in Mathal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer Mafrath as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function, a reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
You two look like you're about to kiss when you argue.
'Tis time we pressed forward.
Agreed.
Don't let them pass!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
You forget that army fighting for us out there? Longer we play around, the more Inquisition soldiers die. There's a hole. Jump in.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
You're very eager to reach our destination.
Are we not all eager to stop Corypheus from achieving his mad plan?
It sounds like what you want is that well.
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I wasn't expecting your answer to be so romantic.
Trust me, your surprise is matched only by my own. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
What sort of curse should we brace ourselves for if we use the well?
'Twould be easier by far to advise you of a curse. This price is not so well defined. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we follow the Venatori.
I suggest we step carefully, Inquisitor.
"'Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?"
We're being watched.
Venavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
So, you're elves from ancient times, before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan.
The Shemlen did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vira Belasan must be preserved.
What is this Vira Belasan exactly?
It is a path, one walked only by those who toiled in Mithal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
If the Well of Sorrows is a source of power, now is when it's needed.
It is not power. Not such as you could use. Even if I permitted it.
Yet Corypheus's minions are here to claim it. Unless you've defeated them already.
We shall fight them as we shall fight you. Our duty is clear. The Vira Belasan shall not be usurped. Even if I must destroy it. Masal Dinan.
No!
Morrigan!
Waste of life.
Such a waste. To live through eternity, only to end up like that.
Then perhaps you should have done the rituals, instead of blundering after the Magisters.
Apparently humans aren't the only stubborn fools on this continent.
The Well of Sorrows.
Finally!
So Mithal endures.
That's... something.
I want them dead before the Master arrives!
Kaltora Virethan!
I will swim if I must.
So close. The well knows its vessel, and those who would despoil it. Stand aside, Inquisitor.
The trials you set me, I have overcome. As a courtesy, leave now. Or not at all.
No, Calpurnia. We have things to discuss.
True. I did not think you so civilized. You serve your people. You have one last chance to save them. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge. Power abandoned by those the elves worshipped as gods. To walk the Fade without the anchor. That is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus.
If that's the case, why isn't Corypheus clawing at the well?
I will carry it like a jug brimming for his use. Can you not see? I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom to try to defeat Corypheus. But you'd still be just a child, playing with a sword. Corypheus will wield it as a master.
Once you've drunk from the well, Corypheus will use a ritual on you. You'll be a mindless tool, enslaved to his will.
Where I come from, idle tales must be proven.
Here, the page with his binding ritual. You tried it on your master, Erasthenes.
How could you know? And these runes, no one has written in these since... He made so many promises, and everyone a lie. Then he discaverned Vas. He was to give Tevinter a true leader. If Corypheus would misuse me, he'd misuse them too. I was blind.
That's why you joined Corypheus. To see Tevinter rebuilt.
To see her reborn. Slaves allowed their true potential. Corruption excised. Tevinter was the cradle of civilization. Imagine what her future could be. A crafter of wonders. Standing against the savage Kunari. A beacon for all.
Perhaps Tevinter does need a strong leader. Be that woman while you can.
You mock me, Inquisitor. As if you'd let me walk away.
Our Inquisitor rarely makes idle offers, darling. I encourage you to take it.
If Corypheus triumphs. Listen, if any power can challenge him, it lies in the well. Perhaps its price is too high, but if you can take it, humble him. Vitae Benefaria, Inquisitor. Do not follow us. I will give you some time. I go to confront my master. Then I will return to Tevinter. If there is anything left of me.
Abelas!
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Calpurnia thought the well's knowledge was powerful. It could help stop Corypheus.
I care nothing for your petty conflicts, Shemlin.
You'll care when Corypheus arrives for the well.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
Our duty is all that remains. Those who drank from the Virabelasan paid a great price. bound to the service of Mythal for eternity.
You claim Mythal was truly a god?
To you, it shall make no difference.
He was defending all that was left of what once was.
And would have happily buried us in the process.
The decision to kill Abelas was mine, Morrigan, not yours.
The elf nearly brought the walls down upon us. I did what had to be done to save something far more valuable. You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
Seems like that should be a concern.
Knowledge begets a hunger for more. I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone? You're not the only mage here.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
What about you, Vivienne?
If anyone, it should be you. The mark on your hand may protect you.
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
I don't know who's better suited, and neither do you.
I have the best chance of making use of the well. For everyone. Let me drink.
You're not concerned about the price? Bound forever to the will of Mythal?
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan? We don't know what will happen.
We do not, and yet it must be done. I am ready.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion, a gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
I would not trust the power in that well with anyone but you, my dear.
Any chance this well could help us against Corypheus? I say you take it.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
It's yours. Kerrigan! Are you alright?
Elasin Salah. Visan Allah. I am intact. There is much to sift through. But now we can... The Illuvian!
Through the mirror!
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not hide.
You sound pretty certain when you say that.
The Well of Sorrows held many voices, and they speak to me now from across the ages. They hold wisdom, secrets I never dreamed possible. But even they fear what Corypheus has become.
Should we fear him more than his army?
Possibly. Luckily for you, he has a weakness. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has infested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old. That pride can be exploited. Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
Just kill his dragon. Why didn't we think of that before?
There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready, and we shall begin.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.